Hey guys, 79 Woodworks here. So this video, I'm going to go away from my normal tool review videos and we're going to do a build video on a blanket chest. I got a customer that got me to build them a blanket chest, and that's what we're going to build. But first, please hit that like and subscribe button. It will help me out and help this channel grow. And I hope you enjoy the content, and please leave me comments. That'll help me to grow this channel, and I'll do my best to take a look at every single one of them and hopefully improve the channel as I progress. So first thing, this blanket chest, I have designed it. I've got on Pinterest, watched some YouTube videos of other people making blanket chests, and I've kind of done my own little deal to it. And that's the beauty of doing all this woodworking, you know, is put your own twist in things. What can you do that puts your style into what you build? What you can do to make things better, more improved, and hopefully this one turns out as well as I think it will. I've already gone through and pre-cut most of all my pieces. The only thing that I will need to cut is I gotta cut some stiles to go here on the side pieces, actually right in here, and then the top. I have not pre-cut the top yet because I like to wait till I get the whole box done so I can get the exact measurement that I need. Because I don't want to underdo it, and I definitely don't want to overdo it too much. But so what we're going to do first of all, now this blanket chest is 48 inches long, and then it's 18 inches wide inside diameter. Outside width is probably going to be about roughly 19 inches wide because of the way I'm putting it together in the corners. And then the outside 48, so this is 1.5-inch plywood, so you're probably looking at about 49 inches outside width. It actually will probably be a little bit more width-wise and side-wise because I'm doing it shaker style, so it will have a side frame and it also have a face frame. The back end will be just a solid wood piece. I'm not doing any face framing on it because the customer is going to be putting it up against a wall, so it'll never be seen. So first thing we're going to do is build the box. Like I said, I've already pre-cut most everything, and I've already done pocket holes. I'm going to be putting it together using pocket holes. Seeing how this is 1/2-inch plywood, we'll be using 1-inch pocket holes. And for those of y'all that have wondered, there's different kinds of pocket hole systems out there. I think two of the main ones is Kreg and Masca. I don't have a Masca. I've been looking at them and I'm thinking about ordering me one. They're a little more expensive kind of than the Kreg, but I feel like from the videos that I've watched on those, I think they're a little more durable and probably a little bit better quality because they're made out of aluminum versus Kreg as plastic. But I will say I have used the Kreg for years doing various woodworking projects, and it's never let me down. It's always been good. This one is the Kreg R3. I got this in a kit. It comes with the pocket hole jig, comes with the bit to screw the pocket holes in to go on your screwdriver, and it also comes with the drill bit to drill out the pocket holes. And then of course your Allen wrench to fix your nut on the or collet or whatever you want to call it on the adjustment for the drill bit itself. And it all comes in a nice little hard carrying case like this, and you can put it all and everything's right there together. So I have enjoyed this one thoroughly. I also use the Kreg clamp to hold the pocket hole jig on, and it works really well. So I've had good luck with these. I recommend this if you're new to woodworking or you want to learn how to do pocket holes. I recommend spend a little extra money and get the R3. So anyways, we're going to start this side here, this piece here. As you can, this is an L shape if you can tell by the video. But this side here is going to be the front, and then I'll eventually attach the back here. So I've got a corner clamp here to hold this good and snug while I put the pocket holes in. Sometimes when you put pocket holes in, if you ain't got it on there good and tight and snug, it'll kind of walk with you. So I've got this corner clamp here, and then I've got a clamp here to hold the middle to keep it all flush and straight. So we'll go ahead and screw in the first pocket holes. So this bottom piece is wanting to walk inward just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it back out flush. And then put my clamp down here toward the bottom to help hold it out. And if it gets a little bit off, because I'm flush up here, but I'm a little bit off here. And I don't think it's going to be a huge problem, but what I can do is take one of my clamps and see if I can pull it back inward. As best as I can. Now it is going to have a face frame on it, so it's still going to be fine because the face frame is going to cover all this up. That's why I'm doing these on the outside versus doing them on the inside. But it should be fine, and it's not even an 1/8 of an inch walked in, so I think it'll be perfectly fine. Once I get all the legs on there and the side pieces, you'll never even know that it's even that much off. Alright, so take this clamp off. And we'll take this corner clamp off. And now we got our first piece on here. So we're going to repeat the same process on the back side and the other side piece, and you just do it you just basically repeat. So we'll do a little quick pause, and when we come back we'll have the full carcass built. Alright guys, we're back. So I've got the carcass of the blanket chest put together. So it's just one big, just rectangular shaped box. Now I'm going to put the legs on, and I'm doing it upside down. Now Reason for that is the legs are going to sit up about 2 inches higher than the bottom of the box, or 2 inches below the bottom of the box, however you want to look at it. So in order to really do that, I could do it up on its side, but I feel like I'll get a better fit if I do them upside down. Now the legs, I've pre-cut them. So what I've done is I've cut an angle. So I went 2 inches, put it up this way. So from the bottom to here is 2 inches up, and then from the end over here to here is about 1.5 inches. And then I just make a mark there and a mark here, draw a straight line, and then just cut that angle off with the miter saw. Gives it kind of a more decorative look. Now you don't have to do that. That's just something I wanted to do on this particular build, just to give it a little more, make it look a little more fancier, a little more, I guess, finished look to it. Probably the better term. All right, so this is going to be the side piece, the front piece, front leg. Now the front leg is going to stick out about 3/4 of an inch off to the side, and the reason for that is because of this side piece leg here is going to go here. Now this is 1x4 material, which if you buy it from a hardware store, it's not exactly 1 inch by 4 inch. It's about 3/4 of an inch by 3.5 inches. So this back leg is going to be the full 3.5 inch length. All right. Now, the reason I trimmed this one is trimmed down 3/4 of an inch, and the reason being is because when I put it up to here, all the way flush with the edge, and then put this front leg up to it, the distance between here and here will give it the 3.5 inch. So it'll make this one and this one look right. If I put another 3.5 inch leg here, which you can do that, but it's going to throw this center off. It's going to make it look uneven. So in order to make it look even, you'll want to trim this piece right here down to accommodate the 3/4 of an inch right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this back leg on, we're going to put these corner legs on either side, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to put glue and 18 gauge brad nails. So first thing is put some glue on, and I lost my glue. Ah, here it is. Alright, so we'll want to start, you can start with this leg here, that's perfectly fine because you know the exact position that this one's going. But I'm going to do this one first, this piece here. And the reason I do this piece here first is because I want to make sure my orientation is correct with this piece, because that'll determine where this one sits flush with. Because I want to make sure that these get a very even, tight fit. And before I do the brad nails, I will butt these up to make sure that there is a tight fit there, and then I'll secure them in place with brad nails. Now, since I'm using 1/2 inch ply for the box, these are 3/4 inch. I'm using 1 inch nails, and the reason being is because if I use a 1 1/4 inch nail, you're going to wind up having the nail poke out the sides, and we don't want that. So I'm going to use 1 inch 18 gauge brad nails. So first things first is get glue on these two pieces here. Now, if you have a silicone glue spreader, you can use that, but I don't have one, so I'm going to use my handy dandy trusty finger. And you'll want to smear it on there pretty good. Try to get as even of a coating of glue on here as you can. Now, I like to use Gorilla Glue, wood glue. I've used it for years. I really like it. I use it for my indoor projects. If I'm doing an outdoor project, Gorilla Glue does make a waterproof outdoor glue, but I've used it before and I'm not as wild about it as I am the indoor. So for my outdoor projects, I use Titebond 3, and it seems to work really well. So this one's gonna need a little bit more. Sorry for the constant pauses, people, but my family don't seem to understand when I'm filming and I want a closed set, and they keep coming out here distracting me. But anyways, we'll manage and we'll get through it. This is slow, I know, but it is necessary. Alright, so we got our glue spread. Take a rag and wipe my finger off, because you want to try not to get any of this glue on the surfaces that you are that are going to be exposed, especially if you're staining, because it will leave a yellow, kind of a yellowish streak in the stain. And this particular blanket chest that I'm doing, the customer does want it stained, so I'm going to try not to get as much glue as I can. But if you do happen to have a little bit of squeeze out or whatever, you can take a rag or a damp cloth and just wipe it up. So I'm going to get this one here, and you want to try to get it as flush as you can with this edge as you possibly can. And the glue will give you a little bit of stickiness, so, but you can, it's not set up yet, so you can manipulate it, move it around just a little bit if need be. So now we'll take the other leg for the front, and we'll get it up here. And you want to get it as flush with this as you possibly can, and you might have to snug them up just a little bit. And if you get just a little bit of unevenness, and when I say a little bit, I'm talking like maybe the width of a fingernail, it's not the end of the world. All you gotta do is take a sander and sand it, and then sand it smooth, and it should even it out, which I will give this a good overall sanding once it's done. Although I have sanded most all these parts first anyways, because sometimes it's easier to sand them when they're apart versus once they're together. But you still, it's always a good idea to want to give an overall sanding after the project's done, just to make sure. So I'm pretty happy with this, the way this is looking, so I'm going to go ahead and secure it with some brad nails. And I'm using my Ryobi Airstrike 18 gauge cordless brad nailer. So now the glue is really going to hold this together, but the brad nails is just to keep it together until the glue dries. Alright, that seems to be a good fit there. And then you can also, if you have like little bitty tiny small gaps, like I got little bitty minor gaps there, you can put in, especially if you're going to paint it, you can take some wood filler and fill in these cracks, which I'll probably do that because the wood filler that I'm using you can also stain. So some of these I probably will after I do the sanding on it, or I may do it before because you want to sand that off after it dries anyways, and just give it just help fill in gaps. I'll do the same thing with these brad nail holes. I'll put some I'll do some wood filler on those to fill those in as well, so those won't be seen. All right, so now we'll do this side piece here. Move the box around where I can get to it a little better. All right, so we'll put our glue on this piece. And you want to pay attention to the orientation of your legs so that they're even out. Because once you put glued brad nails on it, it's a whole lot harder to get off to redo. So, and usually the way my luck goes, sometimes I mess up, but that's okay. That's how we learn. And also, when you mess up, it's also good too because it also helps you to learn how to fix your mistakes. Now, when you build things, especially if you're building it for a customer, there's going to be flaws in it. It's not going to be perfect. But, you know, the customer, 9 times out of 10, they're never going to see those flaws. You're going to know they're there, but they're not going to know they're there. Oh, one thing I would like to note, when I pocket hold the frame, I meant to tell you too, it's a good idea to put a little glue down the edges before you pocket hole it in, and then that way it just gives a little bit more extra added strength. All right. Wipe my finger off, and we'll put this one on. Once you're happy with that, and put some brad nails. All right. Now, I'm going to get a rag. I wasn't thinking, I put glue all the way down to the edges here. Well, I need to stain that, so I don't want glue all on that. Even though it's going to be on the inside, it's never going to be seen, but still will give a much better finished look. However, I will be putting a little glue on the inside of these, and I'll show you why. So when I cut the angles off, it left these little triangle pieces from where I'd cut these off at. So they're just little cutoffs. Now what I plan on doing with these is putting them in the corners of the rail to help hold, just to give a little extra added support. And like I said, it gives a little bit more finished look. So you just do in the corners, which there's already some glue on there, but I'm gonna put just a little more, and I'm also gonna Bradnell it in. Can't do the Bradnell that way. And I think that's going to work. And let's see, this side, I can also do it on this side too. If I can get an even enough squaring, I believe I should be able to, so I think I'll do that on that as well. Even though this one doesn't have a corner piece like this side does, but still just there, just a little extra support. I mean, it's not going to do a lot, but you know, the legs is going to hold the majority of the weight, so. It just helps to give a little extra added support to the legs in the corners there. Try to get it as even as possible. Then I'll put a nail in it. And that should be good. Now you can also do the similar concept, and you can drill small holes and you can run screws in there also if you wanted to. I'm not going to go through all that trouble on this particular build, but I think this will work just fine. All right, well, that takes care of this side. Everything looks real good. Now, I had pre-cut the stiles for this, but when I was doing it, I didn't think about the extra added inch from the side, so these stiles are going to be a little short, so I'm going to have to recut those to go on here. Alright, so basically the way I'm going to do the other side, same way, it's just rinse and repeat, do the thing, and do it on here, just like you do the other side, just like you did this side. I can't talk in case you can tell, but we're having fun, so when I come back, I'll have that side done, and then we'll put the face frame on the front of this. Alright guys, we're back. So I got the other side on. Looks just like this side. So I've got the legs on. Now the only thing that's left is the face frame for the front and the sides, and making the top, and then staining it, and then I've got handles to go on the sides of it. Show you what they look like. They're just black handles. They'll be screwed into here. That way you can pick it up from the side. But this is probably going to be probably a 2-part video and possibly a 3. So this will conclude the first part of the video, and when we come back, we'll put the face frames on and the top. And then after we get that, then I'll probably do a third video of the staining, of the finishing of it, and then we'll do a final reveal. But guys, I appreciate it. I thank you for watching, and please hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll see you on part 2.